There are a lot of companies that are not doing very well in this probably the worst economy since the Great Depression. But there's one that stands out above all others, and that is Walt Disney. Walt Disney's movies are now bombing before they're even released. If you've been paying attention, a couple months ago, I think it was, some photos were leaked of the new Snow White reboot. And while it was quickly discovered that these weren't the actual actors in the pictures, they were stand-ins. So the costumes and the overall vibe or whatever, that was real. They just didn't have the real actors in the costumes or outfits or whatnot. That went viral, and people immediately, because they've cast Rachel Zegler as Snow White. Yeah. Rachel Zegler is a Latina, and Snow White was a German girl who was white, hence the name Snow White. So after the pictures were released, of course, people started calling the upcoming movie, Snow Brown and the 7 Politically Correct Companions. I've also heard Snow Woke and the 7 Seattle Baristas. Because another thing that's gone from the movie are the dwarves. Because Peter Dinklage, who despite his small stature is a giant dickhead, pitched a fit about them, having dwarves in the movie Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. Well, of course, a little research, and we find out that he made that statement because he was butthurt because he wanted one of the roles and they turned him down. So, he was just fine with it until he didn't get the part, and then all of a sudden it's politically correct and backwards and all that. You know what? Fuck you, Dinklage. You're a fucking dickhead, okay? You're pathetic. Anyway, I have never seen a company hemorrhage money like Disney. It's just ridiculous. And fans are pissed because Disney has destroyed Star Wars. They've destroyed Indiana Jones. They've destroyed the Marvel Universe. So that's 3 things right there. The last... I don't pay attention much to the Marvel stuff. In the beginning of it, when DC and Marvel were doing their things, I watched the first 3 Iron Man movies. I watched Captain America. I watched a couple of the others. But then when they were putting out a new movie, it was like every other week. It's like, I can't keep up with this shit. There's too much of it. So I just stopped paying attention. As far as Star Wars goes, the last hit they had, in fact, the only real hit Disney had with Star Wars was Rogue One. And, it went beyond expectations, and when you watch it, it's like, wow, this actually feels like a Star Wars movie. They paid attention to the lore. They paid attention to all the things that had been established, and they kind of actually showed respect for George Lucas's vision. Well, that's all gone now. And one of the things that's going on is Disney is, got their balls in a vice grip from BlackRock. Because basically BlackRock says, oh, hey, you're going to put all this woke shit in your movies, or we're not going to guarantee the retirement of your employees, basically. And I saw the BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink. Isn't that a great name for him? He is a Fink, let me tell you. But anyway, he said, you have to force behaviors. So that's what BlackRock is doing, is they're forcing behaviors. Well, guess what, Larry? We're the fans, and we have more say than you do, because while you can force behaviors, we can force bankruptcy and unemployment. And that's what we're doing right now. So have fun running, the Disney company into the ground and making it hemorrhage billions like it is now. You have fun with that. We don't care. And another thing, I think the writers and the actors strike ended a few days ago, I think, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit, okay? Nobody cares, okay? Because we've had enough of your woke bullshit, all right? Nobody wants to see Snow White turned into this, man-hating girl boss, okay? We don't care. And then they say, oh, well, the fans are toxic. They just don't like women in roles of power. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, you know what? We didn't have any problem with Princess Leia. And that was the fucking late 70s, early 80s. She was a girl boss. She was badass. We didn't have a problem with Jyn Erso in Rogue One. Do you know why? Because they were new characters. Okay? You didn't have to change anything about an existing character. You just made a new character, and this was their personality. This is what they did, and it's like, okay, fine. But in the past, when they've had female characters like that, they were a complement to the male characters, and the male characters were a complement to them. They worked together. Disney doesn't know how to do that, so all they can do is make this Mary Sue girl boss that can do everything, and as Doomcock would say, is the bestest ever, okay? And the only way she can look like that is if she's surrounded by these men who are incompetent, incapable, and that she has to talk down to and make look stupid. I guess that's what Phoebe Waller-Bridge did to Indiana Jones in Indiana Jones and the Dialysis of Destiny, as I've heard it called. But yeah, I mean, Disney takes a beloved character or characters, they take a giant shit on them, hand them back, and then when the fans complain that they're all covered with shit, we're called, oh, you're toxic, you're just a toxic cisgendered male. Well, guess what, sister? It doesn't work that way, okay? Doesn't work that way. So, anyway, needless to say, to me, right now, I think the next Disney movie should be Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy sitting around a campfire talking about how much they hate the intellectual properties that they're in charge of now, and how much they hate their toxic fans, all while they throw bundles of $100 bills into the flames. That's what they're doing right now. You might as well make a movie about it. And you know what? You would probably save on overhead, and it might even be cheaper to make that way. And it would be just as entertaining as the shit that you're putting out now. Might even make more money. Anyway, that's my take on things. And yeah, watching Disney is doing its best impersonation of the USS Cygnus as it spirals into the black hole. And I think it's thoroughly entertaining. So, anyway, hope you guys are doing great. See you later.